What's happening? All right, so here we are. It's a different morning. It's like 2 mornings later, and I'm back at the log splitter because I am literally running out of split wood. So I wanted to keep the crate together, but that beam has got to weigh a few 100 pounds, I'm thinking, easy. And I'm having a little trouble figuring out a way to get it up in the air. And I think my thought now is if I can slide it out of the crate and sort of get under it a little bit, and we can basically stand it up, I can bring the rest of the hitch around this way, back it in, and with it standing upright, get it onto the hinge pin. So that's my thought right now. We'll see if it actually works. Maybe I'm gonna have to get some help. But I'll set the camera up, we'll see what happens. So this is the Brave 30-ton log splitter, and I'm pretty stoked. Now that it's all set up and ready to rock, I just need to pour some hydraulic fluid in there, pour some gas in the engine, and we should be good to get this bad boy fired up and start splitting some wood. But this took about maybe 2 months to get. Obviously everything's a little slower right now, but right now I'm feeling it was well worth it. It took about maybe 4 total hours to assemble. Obviously being by myself, it made it a little bit more difficult, mostly just the beam. I'm thinking the beam probably weighs around 300 pounds maybe or something. I don't know, maybe a little more. The whole thing I think is around 650. So I'm assuming that the beam's probably the majority of that. But after I got it set up and got all the fittings installed, all the hoses, motor mounted, all that kind of good stuff, everything seems really rock solid, no extra pieces. Everything went together exactly how it was explained in the assembly instructions from Brave, so I commend them on a really well built machine. I mean, obviously we'll find out a little more when we start splitting some wood, but it is a horizontal and vertical splitter, and for the most part everything else is pretty straightforward. So I'm gonna get some hydraulic fluid, get that filled up, get some gas in the engine, get this thing cycled so that we can get some hydraulic fluid throughout the system, and then we're going to fire it up and start splitting some wood. So hang tight. All right, hydraulic fluid filled, check. So there's this is the, like I said, the 30 ton. This holds 8.5 gallons of hydraulic oil or hydraulic fluid. And it does specify like an AW32 or an ISO32 oil, which is not super easy to get where I'm at. And I know that it's because for temperature rating, the ISO32 will probably work from like 10 degrees to like, 70 or 80 degrees. It's the easiest thing to get around here is ISO 46, and pretty much I have 5-gallon buckets of that for Godzilla. So I really don't want to have to start stretching out to do different hydraulic fluids and different machines if I don't have to. But I don't also anticipate having to or wanting to run this at 10 degrees. I want to be sitting in by the wood stove just enjoying the wood I already split. But the fluid's filled. Now I'm just going to cycle the fluid through some of the equipment, and I'm kind of new to hydraulics, so kind of learning along the way. But basically what I'm going to do now is disconnect the spark plug, kind of work the lever, cycle the engine a little bit so that it pulls the hydraulic oil through. That's basically part of the initial setup, and then after that, a little gas, start it up, and we should be good to go. Yo guys, this thing is a beast. I'm loving every minute of it. I just ran it for maybe about a half an hour, 45 minutes, and split a nice pile of wood on the other side. Everything runs really well. The only thing I noticed was that the operator control was kind of spinning a little bit. When this would be setting the return and it would click back, it was loosening this to push forward, which I think was having help because the hydraulic line's so tight it was kind of pushing it backwards. So I'll just have to keep an eye on that. There's 2 bolts in the back, one goes forward, one tightens back into the actual union, and I have it as tight as it can go, so hopefully it won't spin back anymore. It was good for the last maybe 20 minutes I used it, but otherwise this thing is awesome, man, and I know it will be a blessing to have here at the Homestead. But anybody interested in the splitter, I'll leave a link to Brave down below. I looked at a bunch of different splitters before I bought this, and everybody seems to be okay. I wanted something kind of between like the box store and like a commercial splitter, which I would have loved to have done a commercial splitter, where I could be doing big chunks and split it like 6-12 pieces at a time. But you're talking like they start at like $4,000, and it just wasn't in the budget. But I really like this splitter. I mean, I read a lot about it before I bought it, and I waited a long time to get it. I could have just driven, down to the closest Home Depot and bought, a Champion splitter, which I had thought about. But, for every good review, there was a bad review. And like I said, I just decided to go with Brave. So I'll leave a link below if you guys are interested, and I'll give you updates as I continue to use it. But I have a ton of wood to split. So certainly going to put this thing through the ringer over the course of the next few weeks. And I'll just keep you guys posted. But otherwise, it's a brave 30-ton log splitter. It is what it is. Splits wood. Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back. Been away for a couple days and just getting back to the property. And like I said before, I think that I've got somebody mudding and taping, and they've been kind of going at it for maybe a week, about a week. And I really didn't get a chance to check it out last night when I got back. So walk up real quick. I thought I'd take you with me and we can see how things are coming along. All right. Looks good. I know you can't really tell from the camera, but looks nice. It's even better than I didn't have to do it. I love the wall ends. I mean, that was meant so that, you know, we could have the kitchen come out from this side, a place to put switches on the other side, and then, you know, basically a place to hang the ladder. But I just love the fact that we designed the house this way. A little different, but it looks so neat. Check out the bedrooms. Yeah, so not bad so far. I have a feeling they'll be here today. Thinking maybe I can get the heaters all turned on for them so it's a little warmer in here. It's probably about, I'm gonna guess and say it's probably about 435 in here right now. Maybe 35 or 40 in here right now, but warm it up for them a little bit before they get here. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty on mud tape and primer. I figured let's take a walk up and see how my man's making out. I know I didn't really show too much footage over the last week or two, but it's looking awesome. Let's take a look. So here's the final result, guys. The mud tape and primer all finished up. My man did a great job. Very happy with how things turned out. And, you know, I'm excited to, you know, be back in the house and moving forward. But I am, like I said, I'm stoked that this is finished and it looks as nice as it does. I know the lighting's not the best, and obviously tons of stuff in the house, but you get the idea. I'll take you for just a quick walkthrough, but so now I can start picking up the boards for the ceiling. I didn't want to bring them in while everything was going on in here just because there wasn't really a ton of room. Obviously, you can see I have everything in the center over here so that all the rooms are empty, but I can now pick up all the boards, get started on staining and get the ceiling in, so get the doors in, get the floors in, all that stuff, but very happy. And I did spend, you know, this got wrapped up a few days ago, and I spent a couple days in here cleaning up afterwards. The contractor did a great job finishing up, cleaning up, washing all the buckets out for me. I mean, it was really just a great job, worth every penny. I did go back once everything was finished and start cutting in the hi-hats. You know, all the towels were up there just waiting for me to cut the holes. Sadly, I didn't mark down where I wanted the holes, so I had to remeasure everything. You would have thought I had that marked off, but it turned out really nice. There are 4-inch hi-hats going in here and a ceiling fan, and bathroom's all done as well. And now I'll start getting some fixtures mounted, or actually I'll probably paint the ceilings first and then go back and start installing all the fixtures as well as all the receptacles, switches, all the devices. But yeah, very happy with how things turned out. It's kind of neat to have the primer on just because everything kind of pops now and really starts to feel like a home. Much brighter in here than it was, and everything's kind of locked together, but that's all she wrote. So stick around, much more to come. I did start hand digging a pond. You guys can probably see that the septic is pretty much wrapped up. I have a video putting together on that, but I started hand digging a pond right here. There was already a little bit of water kind of gathering from the culvert running down, and I just decided to start kind of developing as a small pond, and then it'll break away and cruise down to where the big pond will be down the bottom. But I'm excited to show you guys the septic video. There was a lot going on in there. I'll try and make it as, you know, quick as possible, but it was definitely a cool video, or, you know, cool video to shoot, and, you know, definitely a lot of individual you know, clips that I'll need to piece together, but definitely worth checking out. A lot of grading, you know, a lot of final grading too, because of not having things wrapped up last year. Not only did the septic, you know, get its final grade, but the property got a final grade as well. So very stoked, and I just want to say thank you. This is the next video coming out, I guess, after I hit 1,000 subscribers. A big shout out to Johnny Spot, I think. He was my the 1,000th subscriber. So thank you, Johnny. I appreciate it. Thanks to everybody else subscribing. I'm trying to do better with the videos, but yeah, it just is what it is. But I also have been building a pretty nice blind/tree fort out in the woods, and I'm trying to pull that video together as well, especially since the season, you know, obviously the season's open for archery and some other things, but you know, rifle season opens in a couple weeks, so I'm trying to be ready for that. But stick around, a lot of fun things to come. I'm stoked that this is where it is, because now that I'm back in the house, I think things will move a little bit faster. So stick around. Like I said, cool stuff coming along. And if this is your first time checking out the channel, be sure to subscribe. And otherwise, we'll catch you on the next video. Everybody have a great day. Peace.